Hi, I'm Jay, and it's not light out, but we're here for breakfast. That's right, we're at the 5 a.m. McDonald's experience, the only true McDonald's experience. Why? Because it's a special time of year. We're going to Boston, baby. It's time for PAX East. Derek is orange juice now. Now he's Derek. Now he's orange juice. Now Tim is orange juice and Derek's my arm. How could this happen? Hi, I'm Jay. We're up here. Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm tired. That's Derek. He's also tired. We're up here on sumo lounge chairs, which there are some of. The convention is down there, being over. We're watching the volunteers like they are mere ants in an ant colony, and we have captured them and put them in
They have their own little farm.
They have their own little ant farm. It's amazing. So, Derek, it's Saturday at PAX, and we're leaving tonight after the Double Clicks, Bit Brigade, and Video Game High School concert.
It's been a long 3 days.
It's funny because, like, my thought is always we stay at the hotel right across the bridge from the convention center here in lovely Boston, Massachusetts. I don't know why I said that like that. I love Boston. So I always think, like, oh, we're so close, you know, we're saving so much energy and time on just getting right there, and yet I always want to die at the end of any given day, every time.
Now imagine we had to go further. We had to stop, we had...
That's okay, Derek, post-con Jay can take it here for a minute. PAX East is great every year. This is my third year going, and my first not at all as press. Every other time I've been doing at least a little bit of press stuff, covering some games to write about later. And this time, with that void in my heart, here I am filling it with a YouTube video for you. Oh, you lucky dears, it's like I've given you a cup full of coffee grounds and told you it's ambrosia. PAX East is now 4 days instead of just 3, meaning we got there on Thursday, which is always kind of nice as this easier first day before everything gets really cramped on Saturday and Sunday. So of course I did what anyone would do on the day when there's fewer people there and got in a 2-hour line to wait for a thing. That's right, I was at the Gearbox panel, which you've probably heard a little bit about, either because of Randy Pitchford's 10-minute magic trick, or Gearbox's 10-minute technical difficulties trick. If you're not aware, essentially the panel went like this. Some stuff was announced that Gearbox was publishing, Risk of Rain 2 got announced, and I got excited for a supplementary reason to the main reason I was there, and then the announcement of a new Borderlands card game of some kind, for which Randy Pitchford brought 2 people up from the audience, and made them count cards for 10 minutes, so he could bamboozle the audience by having moved a card from one deck to the other. This is a man who owns a Magic magazine, in case you weren't aware. Randy Pitchford is serious about magic. Magic tricks and technical difficulty magic tricks.
Back in the elevator.
Okay, that we should talk about. So, we're staying in the hotel across the bridge from the Boston Convention Center. So is Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox, as well as several other Gearbox employees. Now, I went to the Gearbox panel on Thursday. He did not. Our other friends did not. We're in the hotel. Randy Pitchford and like 6 other people with him come in, right? And Tim, our one friend, goes and says, hey, that's a cool briefcase, pointing to the briefcase he had that was a prop on stage for something he did with the magic trick during the panel. And talks to him about it for a minute, and then Randy Pitchford gets off on like the 10th floor, and I turn to Tim and go, that was the CEO of Gearbox. 2 floors later, another guy on the elevator sort of while walking out of the elevator declares, and I'm the lead writer of Borderlands 3, goodbye! But no, it's been a good PAX, right?
I've played a lot of really cool games.
Yeah, let's talk about them. Phantom Brigade, I remember the name of that time.
Phantom Brigade is super cool.
So yeah, Phantom Brigade is like, it's like Into the Breach in that it treats like turn-based strategy like puzzle solving.
Yes.
Right? Where each level is a puzzle and you can see, go for it.
So take Battletech.
Yeah.
And then take Transistor. and Into the Breach, and kind of merge those three together, and you have a turn-based mech tactical game, except instead of turns, you get timelines that you can, and everyone acts in this one timeline, and you can alter the timeline for each individual unit that you use, and then execute it and just watch it all play out.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I love that when I played it, I had you in one ear telling me what to do, and the guy who made the game in the other ear also telling me what to do, and I just turned to him and I was like, you should hire this man. We're gonna stand up.
I had a really long conversation with him
Yeah.
back when I was there, because he was watching me play and he was like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, I hadn't thought about that either.
That's so cool.
What are you doing here?
That's so cool.
Oh, that's a good idea. And I'm like, it kind of feels cool to give the developers like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's a thing you can do with our system.
Definitely. I was right before the show floor ended, I was playing a game called, I think, Sparklight. It is a very cool, like, I described it to you like if Bastion was a Zelda game. In terms of, like, it is a hub world based, like, Zelda game that's steampunk. You start out on an airship you fall out of, you fight with a wrench. But I found like 3 things during my time playing it that the dev who was sitting next to me was just typing out on his phone as notes, and he showed me this giant note doc he had of things he had like learned and realized he needs to work on because of you playing
That's
it.
why testing is such an important phase. One of this, like these kind of events are really good for it.
Yeah, especially for indie devs who don't have like a bunch of playtesters to hire.
Back to Phantom Brigade.
Yeah.
That was a big thing where when I sat down, the guy was like, okay, we finished this build at like 3:30 this morning.
Yeah.
If it crashes, let me know.
Tell me what you did.
Tell me what you did.
Well, you guys had a funny story about that with our friend Jesse, who is elsewhere here, and a game called The World Next Door at, what was it, New York Comic Con?
New York
Stuff
Comic
got
Con.
fucked up. It's a neat game that we saw here that I hadn't played before.
He decided, because part of the game is that you have these glyphs on the floor, and you match up the same glyphs to do more powerful versions of the spells.
It's a neat mechanic.
So,
very hard.
Jesse, being Jesse, decided that he was going to make the entire floor, or like half of the floor, just one spell. And the game crashed when he cast it.
I didn't realize that was what he did. That's hilarious.
He made a humongous single spell, and he cast it at the exact same moment that the boss died, and the game just, he couldn't do anything. There was no cutscene, no nothing. He was just stuck in the one spot.
That's fucking great. Didn't you bring it up to the dev and they remembered?
Oh yeah, they remembered him. I was like, my friend had this bug back, and he's like, oh, that bug.
See, and that's what I love about stuff like this.
I know him. I had to work on that.
Because of our friend Jesse. That's what I love about this shit is you can sort of be a playtester for a lot of these smaller studios in a weird way. Like, that's part of the appeal of being here, is you get to talk to these people on that intimate level about the games they make. It's so cool.
I played a game with Jesse called One Step to Eden. I was in line for another game. I looked over and I went, that is Mega Man Battle Network. Why is Mega Man Battle Network over there? I must play that. I must get in line for this game. I must know what this game is. Sure enough, we get there. I'm like, what is this game? He's like, well, have you ever played Mega Man Battle Network? And I was like, yes. All right, we're already on a good note. And he's like, so basically, I just took my 2 favorite games, Mega Man Battle Network and The World Ends With You.
Yeah, it's like, hello.
Combine them in a hodgepodge of whatever the fuck. It's a roguelike grid-based card deck building game.
Biomutant? How about Biomutant though? Let's talk about Biomutant for a second.
Biomutant is a game I knew was being made.
Yes.
It is kind of AAA, but not really.
It's double A, is how I
knew
describe
nothing
it.
about this game, other than the fact that I pre-ordered it.
Him do this. Him do this many.
It was the collectors.
Many times
I need to
him
make
do
sure
this.
I get the collectors.
Him do this
Who I
several.
am as a tortured soul in our lives.
It has a weird cyberpunk rocket raccoon.
So yeah, we're like the front of it, the poster of it is like badass raccoon with a giant steel sword.
Like sword and a musket.
This screams like edgy. Like this is gonna be like a cool adventure. And then you get in and you make your character, which is actually just a big-headed tanking green blob
Thank you for describing the one I made exactly.
that punches people with a rocket fist, throws a sword, and then creates a giant mucus ball
yeah,
to just
to
absorb
bounce around
enemies
in.
and bounce around it.
And the narrator is Dr. Seuss, okay? The narrator is just Dr. Seuss. This is the yard where the choo-choos went a-hooing before the great time of the before people went a-spewing upon the land, and now the choo-choos don't go too far. They aren't quite above the bar. Like, what? That big wrangly nunker is gonna hit you right in the bunker unless you do something about it. Like, what strange wizard in a cave is telling me about the plot of this game?
Like we just took the narrator from Sackboy, Little Big Planet,
Yeah.
and just transitioned it to an action-adventure game about mutated animals.
I wish they had called that game Sackboy.
Yeah, it was just a fun game.
It was really tight action game. Like, it's
It was
obviously
actually a good action
one
game.
of my favorite things I played.
Better than it deserves.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, and it's THQ published. Who that they did like Darksiders, which I think of very similarly as like just AA games, right? Like they're kind of like mid-tier, cool 10-hour action adventure,
Right.
whatever. Which is something you don't get a lot of anymore. Everything's either super big budget or super indie. So it's cool to see stuff like that popping up. I feel like there's other games around here that were also sort of in that realm.
Yeah.
And I like seeing that. Like Control, which you and I both played.
Yeah, I like Control a
is
lot.
also kind of like which that might be partly because Remedy's last game didn't do well for them, and
No,
they've had
it
to
didn't.
scale back a bit. So we're in line here at Facebook Gaming. That's Discord. We're here at Oculus, or Facebook Gaming as they call it for some reason. Hello, that's the bar. That's me.
Bigger than my bedroom.
Yeah, we're saying essentially what we have here is these VR rooms, these rooms for playing VR within, and you do a demo of a game in there. And we're saying these are like individually bigger than a lot of people, than a lot of our bedrooms in our respective apartments or whatever, and they're also like Japanese micro hotels. You've been to one, right?
I have. So essentially, well, not hotels, apartments.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Full-size apartment. There is a kitchen, bathroom in the one room, all in this space.
So it's just that.
Basically live in a closet.
It's that, but themed after this lady in whatever game she's at. Or, I don't know, Beat Saber or whatever you want. Or Crash Team Racing, perhaps. God, what else? I liked Getting the Car Loser.
That was very cool. I liked it.
We sort of agree that narratively, in some ways, it's a game whose narrative is not. We are not exactly the target audience for the writing choices.
Right.
But it seemed like a really cool game.
It was still a really cool game.
What did you say it reminded you of? That you said
it was a game called Cross Edge.
Okay,
on
which
the PS3.
floored the devs, the people who were there behind them. They did not know what the fuck
no
you were
idea what I was
talking about, which was great. Honestly,
it was team-based dagger. It was with Jax. It was like that game.
I hope they looked that game up now that you said that to them. 'Cause they were like they seemed interested. They're like, oh, cool. Which that's always cool too, to compare a game to something that dev has not heard of, and they're like, tell me more.
I found a game this weekend that apparently the rest of the world has already played.
Yeah.
And it's called One Finger Death Punch.
Oh
2.
yeah. I feel like I played that on Newgrounds 15 years ago.
It was one of my favorite games I've ever played in my life. It was just 2 buttons of just chaos and bullshit.
Yeah. It's like stick figures fighting, but sometimes the stick figure will do an attack, and a giant, super detailed, muscly man will do the attack behind him, like a Final Fantasy summon or whatever.
Yeah, the entire game is just 2 buttons. It's left, right, left, right.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, I played Final Fantasy 14 for the first time, and did not do the worst on that team.
We put you right into a level 70 or endgame ready.
Yes, so every year at PAX East, Square Enix has this thing where they have a boss fight that teams of 8 go into in Final Fantasy 14, my game I don't play, but that he and our other 3 friends who were here with all do. And so I know they do it. I always see the shirt that you get when you win, and I was like, fuck it, they all want to do it at the start of the day this one day. I'll come with. I can, I play video games. I can figure it out.
Right.
And I picked up Bard and had. I had a. I don't know that I can. I think you're wrong. I had a decent time playing Final Fantasy XIV.
You had fun.
I had a decent amount of fun once I figured out what the HUD in that game scares the shit out of me because it's just rows of keys.
Yeah, you're
like it sucks, Derek. I hate looking at
to
it.
be fair, it's not bad when you work your way there.
And when you build it to what you want it to be,
and
it's reflexive, I'm sure. And
like the way I have it set up is I actually have 2 separate pieces of buttons.
Yeah, I saw that you can do that. Yeah.
But
you can like set them up different, and that's fine. Like, yeah, again, if you have them memorized or whatever, like sure, do it. But yeah, no, for me, I was like, whom's the fuck are all of these? Well, we went to a panel called Video Game Crimes something, which was a lot of fun.
No one is free of sin.
No one is free of sin. That's very true, especially at PAX East. That was fun. It was just 5 panelists, including Dave Lang, of all people, naming just like sins in video gamedom, ranging from like, you know, game store employees asking girls if they're buying a game for their boyfriend or son in the one woman's case. Went to that. I went to the Giant Bomb panel, which was good. It was just an episode of their podcast, but live, which was honestly fun. Like for those of us in that room, that's great.
Right.
You know, don't go there if you've never seen Giant Bomb before, or if you're not a fan already. But if you are, that's like exactly what you want, so that's fine. But yeah, I had a really good time being here just as a person instead of as press.
I did the Brawlhalla challenge.
Yeah, where's that? Yeah, there we go.
So they do a thing where you can get a stock on the dev. You'll get a free T-shirt.
Right.
You know, if you can beat the dev, you'll get a free headset.
Yeah.
Now, so last year I managed to get the stock on the dev, and it was an accomplishment because like the dev was just shitting on everyone. This year it was a different dev, and he gave no fucks. And I think I got like 3 hits in total while he took all 3 of my stock. For those who don't know Brawlhalla, it's a Smash Brothers like game.
Smash Brothers with weapons having more importance.
And he just, I didn't even have a chance to touch him.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I enjoy it all right. It's a fun pickup every 6 months or so. But yeah, no, it's nice that they're still here. Like they're here every year with that game. It's cool.
Yeah, they have a huge following.
Didn't I see they have Hellboy in it now?
Hellboy is the official playable character.
That's awesome.
And a whole bunch of other characters from the Hellboy movie.
No shit, that's really cool.
A bunch of characters.
No kidding.
That's just Hellboy.
That's neat. That's neat. Alright. After making that video, Derek and I kind of just got delirious and started talking about frickin', I don't know, the Mega Mans and the Pokemons and whatever we did, and probably actually how tired we were. The point is, PAX East is great. After recording that, we went and saw Bit Brigade, who this time did Mega Man 3. So for those of you keeping track, I've seen them do 2 twice, 3 once, and a non-Mega Man game 0 times. But yeah, PAX East is great. It's a place where you can see weird indie games like some of the stuff we described, or big stuff like Nintendo and Sony around the next corner, and then you can go find the Earth Defense Force people who are doing something with a ball pit. I don't really know what's going on there. I never figured it out. Or you can go and find Geico Gaming, which is, you know, what it's all about. I don't have a good end for this video. Thank you for watching my vacation slides about PAX East. Goodbye!